With 1.4 billion people and a culture that spans millennia, China is a place where the unimaginable becomes everyday life. Stay with me as we uncover 20 of the weirdest, most jaw-dropping things you'll only ever see in China. Let's start. Imagine mountains of bicycles stretching endlessly, millions of them abandoned and slowly rusting in open fields. It's the result of a massive bike-sharing boom in China during the late 2010s. Around 70 startups launched app-based bike rental services, introducing an estimated 16 to 18 million bicycles into cities. The idea was simple and user-friendly. Unlock a bike via an app, ride and leave it for the next person. However, the rapid growth led to oversaturation. Bikes were deployed faster than they could be used. When the market cooled, many companies ceased operations, leaving behind a vast number of unused bicycles. The response was the creation of large storage areas, so-called bicycle graveyards, where bikes were stacked in colorful, surreal piles. Many were in near-new condition. These bikes, made of recyclable materials like steel, aluminum, rubber, and plastic, represent a missed opportunity for reuse. Instead, they now remain idle, raising concerns about environmental waste. This episode highlights the importance of sustainable planning in fast-scaling industries. Do you think the companies behind these bike-sharing programs should be held responsible for the environmental damage? Why or why not? Comment and chat with me. China's ghost cities are a striking feature of modern urban development. Official figures estimate that around 65 million vacant apartments, enough to house the population of the United Kingdom, sit unused in large-scale developments across the country. A notable example is Ordos New Town in Inner Mongolia. Built in the desert with wide boulevards, government buildings, cultural centers, and luxury housing, it was meant for 300,000 people. Today, only about 30,000 live there, giving the city a surreal, empty feel. Ordos is not alone. Many cities across China remain underpopulated despite heavy investment. In 2021, 15 high-rise buildings in Kunming, costing over 1 billion yuan, about $150 million, and were demolished in 45 seconds after standing unused. This phenomenon is driven by a mix of government planning, real estate speculation, and policies that favor building over occupancy. Local authorities earn from land sales, developers benefit from construction, and investors buy homes as assets, not to live in. The result is cities that look complete but lack people. These developments highlight the need for more balanced, sustainable approaches to urban growth. If this glimpse of the city has you in awe, please hit that like button and subscribe. It helps more people discover stories like this. In Dongyang, a city in China's Zhejiang province, an unusual traditional dish known as virgin boy eggs has gained global curiosity. Recognized by UNESCO as intangible cultural heritage, using a local ingredient traditionally sourced from young boys. Each spring, locals begin a special preparation process. Eggs are first boiled in this ingredient, then gently cracked and simmered again in fresh batches. The cycle is repeated until the eggs are fully infused. The result is distinct, pale golden egg whites and greenish yolks. Many in the region believe the dish offers health benefits such as cooling the body and aiding circulation, based on traditional Chinese medicine practices. Modern medical experts question these claims and caution about health and hygiene concerns. Nevertheless, the tradition continues in Dongyang, where it has been practiced for centuries. These eggs typically cost twice as much as regular ones. During the peak season, they are in high demand, and some schools in the area support student participation in the cultural process. What sets this apart is how openly it's celebrated. Festivals, cooking contests, and cultural tours invite visitors from around the world to observe and learn about this distinctive local tradition. While many countries build playgrounds for children, China has introduced outdoor gyms designed specifically for seniors. These are not just benches or walking paths. They are full-scale fitness parks with colorful equipment that looks playful but is tailored for aging bodies. Walk through a Chinese park in the morning, and you'll often see older adults exercising in groups. The machines are designed to improve balance, flexibility, and strength, all while being gentle on the joints. There are tools for stretching, coordination, and low-impact cardio. This trend goes beyond exercise. It's become a cultural movement. In China, more than half of park users are seniors, compared to fewer than 15% in parks in the United States. These fitness areas foster community connection and support healthy aging. The equipment is carefully designed. Bright colors make it visually engaging, and the movements are inspired by Tai Chi, adapted for limited mobility. Everything is made to be safe, accessible, and enjoyable for older adults. And these spaces make a real difference. Studies suggest that seniors who use them regularly experience better balance, muscle strength, and more social interaction than those in areas without similar amenities. This model is now spreading globally. Cities in Canada, Spain, and Germany have begun building senior parks inspired by China's approach. It's a strong example of how thoughtful design and community focus can improve public health. Imagine a mountain range painted in waves of red, yellow, orange, and green, stretching across the land like a living canvas. This is not digital art. It's Zhangye geopark in China's Gansu province, also known as the Rainbow Mountains. Formed over millions of years, layers of sandstone and minerals were compressed, then shaped by wind and rain. The result is a landscape that looks like abstract art. Red comes from iron oxide, yellow from limonite, and green from chlorite. Sunlight brings the colors to life, shifting their intensity throughout the day. Many visitors are stunned by how unreal it looks, often thinking it's man-made. But this is nature at its most creative. The scale is immense, over 320 square kilometers of vividly striped mountains. To protect the formations, the government has built boardwalks and platforms for safe viewing. The park draws millions each year, not just for its beauty but because it challenges our idea of what nature can create. It feels alien, perfectly artistic, and entirely natural. In 2019, UNESCO named it a global geopark, recognizing its geological significance. For visitors, though, it remains one of the most breathtaking and surreal places on Earth. The Great Wall of China, constructed over 2,300 years and spanning nearly 22,000 kilometers, stands as a symbol of national pride and one of the world's most remarkable architectural achievements. It is protected under strict heritage laws, with significant penalties for damage. In September 2023, 2 workers in Xiangxi province used an excavator to create a passage through a Ming Dynasty section of the wall. This part, known as the 32nd section, included a well-preserved watchtower classified as a cultural relic. The damage was considered serious and irreversible. The wall, built to withstand ancient invasions, was impacted by modern equipment and a desire for convenience. Authorities quickly responded, and the individuals involved were taken into custody. Officials emphasized the importance of protecting national heritage. The incident reflects broader challenges in balancing development and preservation. The Great Wall continues to face risks from construction, mining, erosion, and lack of maintenance. In some areas, materials have been removed for reuse. This event serves as a powerful reminder that historical structures, even those centuries old, can be vulnerable. Preserving cultural landmarks requires ongoing awareness and respect amid rapid modern growth. The Forbidden City in Beijing is not only China's most famous palace complex, but it is also known for its long-standing reputation as a place of unexplained phenomena. For over 600 years, stories of unusual events have surrounded the site, and some modern visitors continue to share similar accounts. For centuries, the complex was home to emperors, their families, and members of the imperial court, including officials, attendants, and others who lived within its walls. Many moments of history, both grand and tragic, unfolded behind its iconic red walls and golden roofs. At night, the atmosphere becomes noticeably cooler. Some say the air feels heavier. This is one reason the palace closes to visitors at 4:10 in the afternoon, well before sunset. Some staff and visitors have reported sounds such as footsteps, faint music, or the swish of fabric, despite the spaces being empty. Sightings of individuals dressed in historical attire have occasionally been mentioned, often described as fleeting and silent. The most detailed stories come from lesser-known parts of the complex. Certain areas built for emergency use remain closed or rarely accessed, and workers have occasionally reported feeling uneasy in these spaces. In the mountains of southern China, along the Xiangxi River, hangs one of the world's most unusual burial traditions. Wooden coffins are mounted on cliffs, some hundreds of feet above rivers, defying gravity and time. Practiced by ethnic groups like the Bo people, this custom involves placing the deceased in wooden coffins and hanging on cliff faces or inside high caves. Some have remained in place for over 2,000 years, weathered but intact. Without modern tools, ancient communities used ropes, pulleys, and makeshift platforms to hoist coffins up sheer rock. Skilled climbers reached remote caves, and wooden stakes were wedged into cracks to hold the coffins. The higher the coffin, the more honor for the deceased. Many coffins remain untouched today, preserved by dry conditions and elevation. Archaeologists have found silk, bronze items, and other burial goods inside, offering rare insights into early Chinese cultures. In the remote mountains of western Hunan province, a ritual once practiced, and still rumored today, is known as corpse walking. This tradition aimed to return the deceased to their ancestral homes for burial through highly ritualized methods rooted in local belief. The practice persisted into the 20th century, particularly in the Xiangxi region. Difficult terrain made transporting bodies a challenge, leading families to seek help from a ritual specialist known as a corpse driver. These individuals performed ceremonies using chants, herbs, and traditional tools. Locals spoke of a stiff, hopping gait associated with the transported bodies, an image that later inspired folklore and film depictions of Chinese vampires. Inns reportedly offered rooms to corpse drivers, and residents stayed indoors when the bell rang. Some believe this was a disguised method for night burials using live participants. Others point to consistent stories and ritual practices passed down through generations. In Chinese folk traditions, one of the most mysterious and feared practices is known as cat demon magic, linked to love enchantments. According to folklore, this ritual involved raising a cat in isolation for 10 to 15 years, feeding it specially prepared foods to enhance its spiritual energy. When the cat aged, a ceremonial process was said to take place, where its spirit was symbolically bound to a charm. This charm was believed to influence emotions, causing the target to become deeply attached to the charm's owner. Stories describe individuals becoming fixated and losing interest in daily life due to this enchantment. These legends, while dramatic, reflect deeper cultural beliefs about karma, control, and emotional power. Today, most view such tales as symbolic rather than literal, part of the rich tapestry of Chinese spiritual storytelling. In Chinese folklore, one of the most feared legends is that of Gu magic, a ritual said to create a powerful and mysterious force through venomous creatures. According to traditional accounts, practitioners place snakes, scorpions, centipedes, spiders, and toads into a sealed container. Over time, the animals would fight until only one remained. The last survivor, believed to have absorbed the essence of the others, was called the Gu Yu. In stories, this entity was said to carry a curse capable of causing illness or emotional disturbance, often tied to unresolved conflicts or spiritual imbalance. These tales, while dramatic, are part of the rich landscape of Chinese spiritual storytelling. Today, most view them as symbolic reflections of cultural anxieties, rather than literal practices. Have you heard similar legends in your own culture? How do they compare to this tale of the Gu? In Chinese folklore, few texts carry as much mystique as the Lu Ban Manual. Named after Lu Ban, the legendary carpenter, this book is said to include rituals once used by craftsmen to protect themselves or seek symbolic justice against unfair treatment. In earlier times, builders had little legal power. According to legend, the manual described ways to embed symbolic curses into structures. These included carving hidden symbols or placing objects in certain patterns, believed to bring misfortune to those who had wronged them. Such tales describe homes plagued by illness, financial setbacks, or strange disturbances passed from one owner to the next. These stories reflect deeper cultural ideas about karma, balance, and the power of intention within one's work. From 1979 to 2016, China enforced the one-child policy, a major population control effort aimed at reducing birth rates. One result was the emergence of undocumented children, an estimated 13 million people born outside the policy and not registered officially. Without legal identification, these individuals often face barriers to education, employment, travel, and healthcare. To avoid penalties, some families hid births, moved to rural areas, or registered children under relatives' names. The policy also contributed to a gender imbalance. Cultural preference for sons led to a higher number of male births, an estimated 30 to 40 million more boys than girls between 1980 and 2020. Implementation varied, but some enforcement methods included fines or employment consequences. There were also reports of medical interventions during pregnancy, especially in later stages. Some families relocated or went into hiding to avoid penalties. The policy had deep psychological and social effects. Some children grew up without state recognition, while others, as only children, faced intense familial pressure. These little emperors often had fewer opportunities to develop social skills due to the lack of siblings. Today, China faces long-term challenges from this policy, including an aging population and a shrinking labor force, raising concerns about future economic and social stability. Imagine living in a system where your actions and choices are tracked and rated. In China, this takes the form of the social credit system, a national framework that monitors behavior and assigns scores that may affect access to certain services. This system collects data from multiple sources: financial history, travel records, social media, consumer behavior, and public records. Algorithms analyze this information to generate a personal score that can influence daily life. Higher scores may offer benefits such as faster service, improved loan access, or priority in school admissions. Lower scores may result in restrictions like travel limitations or reduced eligibility for some services. Behaviors affecting scores range from serious legal violations to minor infractions, such as traffic violations or noise complaints. In some cases, associations with others or household scores may also play a role. The system encourages adherence to community standards and promotes specific social behaviors. As a result, individuals may modify their actions to maintain positive standing. The program has sparked discussion about data use, privacy, and social governance. Observers have noted its impact on both domestic behavior and the experiences of international visitors. China's counterfeit production is highly developed, with some imitation goods reportedly matching the quality of the originals. It extends beyond fashion items to include products like food, beverages, and even architectural replicas of global landmarks. Estimates suggest that a significant portion of the world's counterfeit goods originates from China, contributing to an economy valued in the hundreds of billions of dollars. In some cases, factories producing authentic goods may also create unlicensed versions after hours, using similar materials and processes. Reports have raised concerns about food safety, citing instances of imitation products such as artificial rice or eggs made with unconventional materials. These examples have drawn attention to the importance of stronger regulatory oversight and consumer protection. China is also known for constructing full-scale replicas of foreign cities, including versions of Paris and Austria's Hallstatt. These neighborhoods are not just tourist attractions but functioning communities. Counterfeit products appeal to some consumers by offering affordable access to luxury branding. For manufacturers, imitation can be part of the learning process, helping build industrial capabilities. However, there are broader consequences. Counterfeiting can reduce consumer trust, limit incentives for original innovation, and create challenges for global trade and product integrity. Chinese New Year is a time for celebration, but for many unmarried adults in China, especially women over 25, it can also bring social pressure and family expectations. To manage these situations, some turn to a growing service industry, professional partner rentals. Through platforms like Taobao, individuals can rent a companion for family gatherings, typically for $50 to $100 per day. These arrangements may include shared backstories, photo sessions, and gift-giving to maintain a realistic impression. Celebrity demand increases during holidays, when traditional views on marriage become more prominent. Being unmarried past a certain age is often viewed with concern, and some families may even propose arranged matches. Both women and men use these services. Some clients wish to ease family expectations, while others seek support in navigating sensitive personal matters. Rental partners are trained to adapt, presenting as thoughtful companions based on client needs. Some clients develop emotional connections or continue using the service over time. Rental partners often include students or performers who are skilled in etiquette and family interaction. What's notable is how widely accepted this practice has become. Families may be aware of the arrangement but choose to go along, valuing harmony and tradition during the holidays. Before we continue, I have a special 10-second request for everyone listening. If you can help me in any way, just hit the notification bell and subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. And if you do, I'll do everything I can to make this show better for you. Okay? In China, where large-scale development projects often require community relocation, a few homeowners choose to stay. These are known as nail houses, properties that remain standing amid highways, malls, or construction zones due to unresolved negotiations. The name comes from the idea that these houses stick out like nails that won't be hammered down. One well-known case in Chongqing featured a 2-story home left on a 10-meter mound in a construction pit. The owners, Yang Wu and Wu Ping, became widely recognized as symbols of persistence. Nail houses highlight the tension between urban growth and individual rights. While compensation is offered, some owners refuse to move, not just overpayment but due to personal attachment or a desire for equitable treatment. These disputes can last for years. In some cases, developers suspend services or alter site access. Homeowners may respond by reinforcing their properties with cameras or protective fencing. Although private property rights are recognized by law, the negotiation process can vary by region. At times, the balance between progress and the protection of individual interests sparks broader conversation. Some nail houses gain popularity online and attract visitors. Ironically, the cost of building around these homes can exceed initial offers, turning these properties into enduring symbols of negotiation and resilience. Each year during the 7th lunar month, usually August or September, many communities in China observe Ghost Month, a traditional period when it is believed the spirits of the deceased may return to the world of the living. These spirits are thought to be restless and in need of care and respect. To avoid misfortune, people may adjust their routines. Swimming is discouraged due to concerns about water spirits. Night outings, weddings, surgeries, home moves, and business launches are often postponed. Some even avoid haircuts, honoring beliefs tied to ancestral protection. The month also brings noticeable changes in economic activity. Tourism slows, construction pauses, and some market behaviors reflect seasonal caution rooted in tradition. Ghost Month is also a time of remembrance. Families honor ancestors by burning symbolic paper offerings, money, homes, and other items to provide comfort in the afterlife. Some invest in elaborate paper replicas of modern goods which are burned in designated areas as part of community rituals. Public spaces may become temporary shrines, with offerings like fruit and rice left for wandering spirits. These practices reflect deep cultural values around memory, respect, and connection between generations. Behind China's rapid transplant advancements and growing medical tourism industry lies serious concerns raised by human rights organizations. Allegations of non-consensual organ harvesting involving prisoners of conscience and ethnic or religious minorities. These claims are based on reports of unusually short transplant wait times, testimonies from former detainees and medical professionals, and discrepancies between official donation data and the volume of surgeries performed. In contrast to most countries, some facilities in China reportedly advertise matched organs within days. According to some investigations, individuals from vulnerable groups such as Falun Gong practitioners, Uyghur Muslims, and unregistered religious communities have allegedly been subjected to frequent health checks while in detention, focused on organ viability. Estimates from independent sources suggest 60,000 to 100,000 transplants occur annually, far above the number of documented voluntary donors. Some reports claim hospitals and judicial authorities may coordinate transplant timing. Survivors have described psychological distress linked to uncertainty about medical exams while in custody. These concerns continue to spark international calls for transparency and ethical oversight in transplant practices. China has developed modern cities as zones for advanced governance, integrating surveillance, digital infrastructure, and urban planning. These are not ghost cities, but fully populated areas where technology is used to support public management and services. One well-known example is Shenzhen, which grew from a fishing village to a city of over 12 million people in 4 decades. It is often cited as a model for data-driven urban development. The city features extensive networks of surveillance cameras with facial recognition, supporting public safety and operational efficiency. Mobile payment systems have largely replaced cash, creating highly trackable digital ecosystems. Purchase patterns and mobility data are used to help streamline service delivery and urban planning. Neighborhood committees and shared spaces promote community interaction, while digital tools support administrative oversight. In some workplaces, employee performance may be monitored to guide management decisions. Schools in these cities emphasize collaboration, group values, and civic responsibility. Children are raised in environments where digital tools and monitoring are part of everyday life. These cities demonstrate economic growth and stability, drawing interest from international delegations. Observers note both the technological efficiency and the social questions raised by widespread digital governance. If this journey through China's strangest realities has opened your eyes to new possibilities, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most fascinating mysteries. And let me know in the comments which of these 20 weird things shocked you the most. What other countries should we explore next? The world is full of surprises, and we're just getting started. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.